So I have very bravely climbed a ladder here in the garden and collected these beauties, rose hips. These are full of goodness. They've got more vitamin C than oranges, and you'll find them in the hedgerows if you don't have roses in your garden. I just very quickly topped and tailed them. Now you'll see they're not perfectly immaculate and there's little bits everywhere, but before you use this rosehip syrup you will be straining it, so it's quite alright. I just want to get the wetness off them. So they've had a good little wash and strained them in my cute little colander, and then I just put the rosehips, when they're dry, in here. Now, you've probably heard of making rosehip syrup and you've got to boil and strain and measure, but this is my quick and easy method. Anybody can do this. You can do this very, very quickly. And you know, the thing about all the boiling is, I wonder how much goodness do you actually use? But doing it this way, there's no boiling involved. We can just put this away. And now I'll just take this. So now all we have to do is just take some regular granulated sugar. If you have your own honey, you could use that. But usually for this I use my sugar. Now all I want to do is cover the hips. I've been a little bit messy. Aren't the colours just beautiful? So you've got the hips in there and you've got the sugar. And you can see, just cover it until you don't see the hips on top. Then you put a lid on it. Give it a shake. Now, leave it in the kitchen, and every day over the next week or two give that a shake. And very slowly the sugar is going to dissolve. It's going to absorb the goodness from the rose hips. They're going to break down and you're going to have delicious rosehip syrup. Just remember that if the sugar ferments, there may be a slight alcohol content in it. I know that's no difficulty for some, but be aware of it. But it's a very, very simple method. And I know quite often with foraging and making products with foods from the wild, people can think it's too time consuming. But I literally didn't leave the garden for this. And you can see that I literally just have to use sugar and rose hips and let it dissolve over the next couple of weeks. Now, to use it, this is fantastic in the winter if you've got a little bit of a cold or you want to give yourself a boost. It's packed with vitamin C, but what you've got to do is you've got to strain it as you use it, because you know, if you've seen rose hips on the inside of them, there are tiny, tiny little hairs in them. Not great, particularly for children. They will get caught in their throat. So what you have to do is get some muslin and strain the syrup through the muslin and then use it. You can use this on pancakes, you can use it on ice cream, you can add it to a hot whiskey if you like, you know, if you need that extra little boost. But come the winter, if you can find some rose hips, just add the sugar. This is going to be one of your dreams in the cupboard if any of the children get a cold or you need a boost. This is it, rosehip syrup.